On March 2nd, my little brother became old. So he still lives down in the South Bay area of Los Angeles. I decided to fly down and surprise him. So I headed out to Portland International Airport, PDX as we call it here. I grabbed an Alaskan Airlines flight and I headed down to Los Angeles. He had no idea I was coming, and it was a great surprise. He had a little get-together at his house, and I stayed a couple days and explored my old hometown. Afterwards, I boarded a Amtrak and had the best trip I've had in some time on an Amtrak train. It was great. It was sunny in California, and we got into the Cascade Mountains, and it was snowing and beautiful. This is that trip. This is Torrance, California. That's where I grew up. Grew up in they call it the South Bay. It's called Torrance, Redondo, Hermosa, Manhattan Beach. This is like the busiest street called Hawthorne. This street takes you all the way, not to downtown LA, but west of downtown LA. All the way up. And that takes you over there to the hills, up into Palos Verdes, and into, I guess, if you're going to Long Beach. Now, growing up in the South Bay, everybody knew Del Amo Mall. This was at one point, I think, the second or third largest mall in the country. During the non-beach months, as a teenager, you would go here. Beach months were like April 1st to October 1st in the South Bay. And on those weekends when you weren't at the beach, you usually hung out somewhere around the mall. Back then, it was almost shoulder to shoulder on the weekends. This is being filmed on a Friday. There's hardly one here. It would have been packed 20 years ago. Sure, it's still the pandemic days, but it should be so much more crowded than this. Nobody goes to the mall anymore. There used to be a Wet Seal clothing store right here, and my wife worked there when we first met. Sort of weird how a mall will hold so many memories for you. So this used to be my favorite computer store. It's obviously turning into something else. It was like CompUSA before, then it turned into Sports Chalet, and now I don't know what they're doing it. But great story. When I was probably about 25 or so, my car was in the shop, so I grabbed my mountain bike and came over here with my backpack on to the computer place. And as I was walking in, the security guard goes, "Can I look in your backpack before you come in and before you leave?" I'm all, "Yeah, if you need to, why?" And as I start talking, he goes, "Oh, never mind." "Oh, what's the difference?" He goes, "Well, you got all your teeth. I thought you were a tweaker." And I'm all, "You thought I was a tweaker?" He goes, "Yeah, bike, backpack, you know, kind of screams tweaker to me." I got a good chuckle out of that. This is Manhattan Beach. Manhattan Beach used to be a nice little quiet family surf type town. Now it's where you move to if you play for the Lakers or the Dodgers, or you're not a giant superstar in Hollywood, but you make some money. After 3 days in the South Bay, it was time for a 6 a.m. wake-up call and head to the Amtrak station. We are golden. We are on our way, just leaving LA. LA in the background there. If you ever take the Coast Starlight heading north from Los Angeles up to Portland or Seattle, the first 2 hours of the ride out of Los Angeles kind of suck. It just goes through the worst parts of LA. It's just kind of gross. The train starts at 10 a.m. and by the time you get past Oxnard, it gets a little bit better, which is somewhere around noon. And this is what you see then. You hug the coastline for quite a while. From like 12 noon to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're just going right along the coast. And then you turn inland towards San Luis Obispo. This is kind of okay for a while, and then it gets dark and you go to bed, and that's fine, because most of the trip in California that you're covering during the night isn't really a lot you want to see anyway. This is Camp Roberts. When I was in the Army up at Fort Ord and then later on in the National Guard, we trained here all the time. I've spent far too many nights on Camp Roberts. You wake up in Klamath Falls or thereabouts, and that's when it gets good. As you get to Klamath Falls, they take a nice long break there, and you can get out, smoke, walk around, stretch your legs, whatever you need to do.
In a few minutes we'll be leaving Klamath Falls and going through the Cascade Mountains with a minor stop in Chemulg along the way.
Once you get back on the train after Klamath Falls, be prepared. You're about to see some of the most beautiful landscape there is in the United States. If you're lucky enough, you go there when there's still some snow, and it looks like this. As we got towards the summit of the Cascades, whatever mountain it was we were at, we came across these crews clearing snow off the tracks. They're pushing it away. And I was filming that, and then right after we passed them, I was switching out the battery of the GoPro I have attached to the window, and I saw the weirdest thing, but I didn't catch it on video. There was some woman standing in the woods just waving at us. And she was in a winter coat, ski jacket, or whatever. She was dressed for the weather. It's not like it was some ghost just in a dress or something weird like that. This older woman's just waving at the train as we went by. I thought, that's kind of a weird. What is she doing out here? And I kind of quickly looked it up on the map. There's no cities. I kind of scrolled in as close as I could see. I couldn't see any houses. There was nothing around this place. And it was like a mile or 2 miles after this crew here. So she wasn't part of the crew. At least I don't think she was. But like 2 miles down the tracks in the middle of the woods, there's this woman just waving at us. It's freaking weird. After the summit, the snow disappeared pretty quick, and you're still in the mountains and you get some really nice views, just not as special without all that snow. I just think the snow up there in the Cascades is just beautiful. As you're working your way down the mountain, you get some good views, couple tunnels, some nice lakes, and then you start cruising along some rivers on your way to Eugene. Then once you get to Eugene, you stay there for a little while, and then it is just farmland till you get to Portland. If you ever get a chance to take Amtrak, I say this all the time, take it. It's a good way to see the country. Sure, you can jump in a plane and go from city to city and see things that way. I enjoy the trip just as much as the location. But when you take the train, you see parts of the country you'd probably otherwise never see. As you come out of the hills, you follow the Willamette River for a while, go through Jasper, Oregon, Springfield, Oregon, and eventually stop in Eugene. You sit in Eugene for a while, then it's on to Junction City and Harrisburg, and then it's just pretty much straight farmland until you get to Albany, Oregon, and have another stop there. Normally about this time of the trip when I'm on the Coast Starlight, I'm kind of tired of being on the train. You get to the farmland and it's nice to look and relax and see out there, but after you've been through the mountains and followed a couple rivers, it's kind of boring. So you stop one more time in Salem, and then it's on to Portland and the end of my ride. The Coast Starlight goes all the way up to Seattle. The thing that sucks is as you're taking this trip, as you get closer and closer to Portland, where you start seeing buildings and warehouses and stuff, you just start seeing the amount of homeless that the Portland metro area has, and it's depressing. I mean, not depressing that you're seeing them, it's depressing that there's so many people in that situation. It kind of bums me out every time I see it. It's like I want to run outside and get everyone an apartment or something, I don't know. It's just, it's kind of sad.
Check luggage will be available to you in the Portland promptly at 4 o'clock. If you want to continue your journey, you'll need to be back aboard the train no later than 3:55.
So you finally make your way into Portland and you cross the Willamette River, and that pretty much ends your ride. You know, in honest reality, for all of Portland's problems, I still think it's one of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen. Ranks right up there with Savannah, Georgia. I don't know why, I just love their downtown area. It's just a beautiful city. But that was the end of my trip on the Coast Starlight and visiting back home in the South Bay of Southern California. Got to see some friends, got to see some family, and took a nice train ride. It was kind of fun. The next one I want to do is the Texas Eagle. I've never done that one yet, and I'm going to do that pretty soon. I'm not sure when. But if you like this, don't forget, give it a big thumbs up. If you first time you're here, please subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. I'm kind of working my way through these train and travel videos, so I'll take any constructive criticism. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.